गणनायक करिवरगणम् करुवनुग्रसोय भुवनिराशि शुभगुणसरम् मूक होई वाचा पंगुचरे गिरिवरगणम् जासु कृपा सुदया प्रवण सकल कलिमलगणम् लीलसरोरंशा मम उदिरा सदा शिर सागर शरणम् कुंद इंदु समदे कुमार मन करुणायनम् जाहे दीन परमे बंदव गुरु परखंड कृपा सिंधु नर रूप हरि महामोह तम पुंड जासु वचन रवि करा जासु वचन रवि
Sitaram, everyone. On behalf of Swami Shiveshwarananda Maharaj, Swami Shiveshwarananda Maharaj, by J.V. Ram and all the other members of our executive committee, I would like to wish all of you a very happy new year. Those of you who have joined us here physically at our Satsangh, and those of you who have joined us online. It is such a joy to be in Satsangh, and so wonderful that on this very first day of this new year, we give thanks to God and Guru. That is the way it should be. We should put God first in our lives. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, however men seek me, so do I reveal myself to them. And basically what the Lord is saying, that if we care for Him, we will find Him more and more in our lives. But if we shun Him, we will find that the joy which we are seeking is continuing to elude us. There are so many. Last evening, late into the night perhaps, who celebrated in a different way, welcoming the new year in so many ways which are not spiritual. And yet, when we suffer, we blame God. As I like to say, if we shut ourselves in our dark rooms, away from the sunshine, and we cry out, "Oh, it is so dark in here," Whom can we blame? Only ourselves. One great mind said, "Be always at war with your vices, at peace with your neighbors, and let each new year find you a better person." Benjamin Franklin said that. Devotees, my katha is taken from Ayodhya Kanda, mostly of the 𝗔𝗠𝗘𝗥𝗜𝗖𝗔, and in this Chaupai Tulsidas writes,
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama.
सुनो जननी सोई सुतो बर भागी, जो पितु मातु बचन अनुरागी। सुनो जननी सोई सुतो बर भागी, जो पितु मातु बचन अनुरागी।
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama,
तनया मातु पितु तुसनिहारा, तनया मातु पितु तुसनिहारा। दुर्लभ जननी सकल संसारा, दुर्लभ जननी सकल संसारा।
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama, 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama.
I think all of us are unanimous in our view that the last year was not a nice one. If anything, it was a very ugly year, mainly because of a pandemic which plagued and continued to plague our world, the COVID-19 pandemic. But yet in the human heart, hope reveals itself eternally. Hope is eternal. And we start this year with hope that this year would be a better year for us as individuals and for the world collectively. Traditionally, at this time, we do introspection before we make our resolutions. And we need to do an honest introspection. The world will not be better unless each one of us try to be better. So we need to look at ourselves carefully. Our Guru Maharaj says that we need to honestly introspect every day and see whether we have made any mistakes. Have we hurt anyone? Have we worked hard enough for men and for God? We need to honestly introspect, and once we identify our flaws, we resolve to work harder at making ourselves better. So, as we make our resolutions, both worldly resolutions and spiritual resolutions, we must make few resolutions. If we make a lot of resolutions, chances are that we will break them. See the most important flaws in our lives, and we all have flaws. Identify them and work on the ones which we think are holding us back the most. We have to be sincere about our resolutions. Resolutions, some people say, were made to be broken. But these are words of weak people. Our Guru Maharaj, once he resolved on doing something, he never stopped until it was achieved, no matter how hard it was. He set that example to us. I said that we can gain the most from Guru Maharaj's life, if we try to pattern ourselves after him. Not only is he our great Guru, an avatar, but he is also an example for us to follow. How he lived his life, his great willpower, his tremendous self-discipline, and his constant yearning for the final goal of human life, the final spiritual goal, which is God realization. So be sincere. We must be sincere when we make our resolutions. We must ask God's help. Without God's help, we may not be successful. Sometimes we will face trials as we try to honor our resolutions. Sometimes I make a resolution that I'll be kind. When I say I, not I personally, but generally. I will be kind to even those who are unkind to me. And yet, when we're in the line of fire, when we actually face unkindness, it is so hard to be kind. It is human nature. It is our default to respond with unkindness for unkindness. For us to be kind in the face of unkindness, we have to move higher than our default, move higher than our normal human feelings. We have to be divine. And even if we are not successful, we have to keep trying. We have to persevere. Guru Maharaj uses that word in his Shangabani, perseverance. Don't give up. Keep trying, keep trying. If life were smooth, if everything went well in our lives, if there were no problems, if there were no sufferings, we will not grow, my dears. We grow when we're tested. If there is no friction between your feet and the ground, you cannot move forward. You cannot even stand. How well I know that? There has to be friction between your feet and the ground for you to move forward. In the same way, as we try to keep our resolutions, it will not be easy, but we must persevere. There was a Western saint, a great man. He badly wanted to know God. He made God the center of his life. He loved God so much that he gave up everything in a singular quest for God. He went into seclusion. He was living in a tomb, an empty tomb. As he was doing his sadhana, day and night, he was doing his sadhana. He was striving to overcome a great weakness that he had. Lust. It was a weakness he identified in his life, and he was striving manfully to overcome that. But one day, despite his best efforts, even against his will, he found that he was being pulled back into society. Because you see, in his youthful days, there was a girl he loved very much. Something happened and it really didn't work out, but he always thought fondly of her. On this particular day, his feelings for her were so great that he felt he just had to be with her. But he knew that it was wrong because he had given his life to God and that he had nothing more to do with the world. But yet, the feelings were so strong that against his will, he was being pulled away from the tomb where he was doing sadhana. Against his will, it seemed. An unseen force, powerful unseen force, it seemed, was dragging him back to the world. And as he was being pulled back to the world, as he was walking away from the tomb, he saw a rose bush tree. And he grabbed onto that tree as he cried out to God. And he rolled on that tree. You know, the rose bush has thorns. His body was pierced by those thorns. He was in great pain. But even though he was in pain, he was able to stop his advance to go back to what he had once renounced. So, even when it seems that we cannot overcome our flaw, we must keep fighting and ask God's help. The strange thing is that successive generations of that rose bush had on their leaves what appears to be bloodshot on them. As if God is trying to remind us of the struggle of that holy man who eventually overcame. So, we must persevere. Bhagavad Gita says, Tasmad Yudyasva Bharata. O Arjun, prepare to fight. It's not only fighting in the conventional meaning of that term, fighting the physical war, but internally we must fight. We must strive to be better. And so the Chaupai says, Sri Ram himself is saying to 𝗔𝗘𝗢𝗖𝗔, a woman who was filled with hate for him, who wanted to see him banished. The Lord said, Listen, my mother. Even though she was projecting such hatred towards him, he addresses her as my mother. Listen, my mother. Blessed is the son who loves to obey his parents' commands. A son who thus contents his father and mother is rare in all the world, mother. And so we must heed the Lord's words. Our very scriptures tell us, and especially to the young people, I'm directing this to, and also to the parents. Sometimes I'm bewildered when I see children's response to their parents. Not everybody, but majority of cases. And sometimes the way parents behave. Yes, our scriptures tell us our parents are like gods. But they tell us that with the assumption that parents follow the rules set forth by the scriptures. The yamas and the niyamas, the do's and don'ts of spiritual life. I say to the children, always honor your father and mother when you're small and even when you're bigger, when you have your own families. Don't turn your backs on them. Always be there for them. Not when they die, you will cry a bucket full of tears when it is meaningless. And to parents, I say, this is a good time to review your life, set good examples to your children. Many parents tell me that their children don't get up to pray in the morning. And I ask, do you get up to pray in the morning? If we don't get up to pray early in the morning, how would the children get up to pray early? They do what we do. They look at us. They try to follow our examples. We have to set good examples to our children. We have to behave in a way that we want them to behave. Do we fight? Do we curse? Do we drink in front of our children? Even not in front of them, but do we do these things? Children are very clever. They know whether you do it in front of them or not. So if we want them to be peaceful individuals, if we want them to be disciplined, we have to set the example. When a tree is young, you can bend it. But when a tree has grown, it is not easy to bend. When children are small, that is the time they develop habits which are hard to break. So we must inculcate in them at that early age good habits. Be kind, but be firm. This is time for you to pray. This is time for you to attend mandir or to view Satsangh online, because that is how it is viewed mainly now. This is time for you to study. This is time for you to watch television and no more. We have to set parameters and enforce those parameters. Read to them from the Holy Scriptures. Many saints became saints because they say what their parents did for them when they were small. Paramahansa Yogananda says that when he was young, his mom used to read Ramayana and Mahabharata every day. And so he was inspired by the heroes of these wonderful epics. Nowadays, children are inspired by film stars. You go into their rooms, you see pictures of questionable people who are very famous. But if you were to study the lives of their heroes are not really happy people, not very moral people. We have to teach them who are the real heroes. Arjun, Bhima, Sri Ram, Lord Krishna. When we set high examples to them, then they will be good. So Sri Ram is saying that, listen, my mother, blessed is the son who loves to obey his parents' commands. A son who thus contents his father and mother is rare in all the world, mother. In this next chaupai, Tulsidas writes,
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama.
Kataho raho jo jeevati hoi, Tata jatanu kari ana soi. Kataho raho jo jeevati hoi, Tata jatanu kari ana soi. Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram, Sugrivahu Suri Mori Bisari, Sugrivahu Suri Mori Bisari, Pava Raja Kosapur Nari, Pava Raja Kosapur Nari.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama, 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama.
at the start of this new year, as we examine our lives, we must try to practice gratitude even more. Be grateful. Some people, when they wake up in the morning, they say, oh God, another day. With that kind of attitude, our days will not be happy. But when we wake up and we say, Lord, thank you. Thank you for another beautiful day. Whether it is raining or snowing, Lord, thank you for another beautiful day. Let us be grateful to God for His gifts. Let us be grateful to others. Tulsidas in 𝗔𝗠𝗘𝗥𝗜𝗖𝗔 is grateful even to his enemies, those who hate him, those who persecute him. He says, thank you to all of you. Because without you, I will not be who I am. For those who hate me, he says, you give me an opportunity to return love. For those who harm me, you give me an opportunity to forgive. We must be grateful. Are we grateful? Are we grateful to God, to Guru, and to our fellow human beings? Who gives us the power to breathe every day, to digest our food, to keep our hearts beating every day? Without God's power, we will not survive, who provides the air for us to breathe, who gives us food every day. It is the Lord. And so you must be grateful. Sri Ram is saying to Lakshman, "O Lakshman, now that Sugriva has gotten a kingdom, a treasury, the amenities of city life, and his own spouse, he has quite forgotten me." Sugriv had promised God that he will work for him if he is given the throne of Kishkinda. And Sugriv was given the throne of Kishkinda by the Lord. But then what? Sugriv was lost in worldly enjoyments. He even forgot the promise he made to the Lord. You must not be like Sugriv. You must be thankful to God and to Guru. No matter what bad things happen to us, they could have been worse were it not for the grace of God and Guru. Once, a man was afflicted with a disease, and a disciple of a great master took pity on him and took him to his guru. The guru had healing powers, and the disciple pleaded with his guru to heal that man. And when that man was healed, he never went back even to see that great master to say thanks. Like the story I told several times before, that a great master healed 10 lepers, but only one went to say thanks. The other 9, they were so happy with their healing that they went back to the world to resume what they had missed all these years. So I ask us, dear friends, to be grateful. Be grateful to God, to Guru, to your fellow human beings. I'm grateful for all of you, for my brother monks, for our wonderful members of our executive who work so hard always to keep Guru's work going. For all the devotees who make sacrifices every day, every week to keep our satsangs going. To all of you who do not mind the pandemic but you come to ashram to be in satsang. To those of you who put aside time to listen to our programs online. To the devotees who make sure you're safe by manning the doors, by doing so many things. To the devotees in the kitchen who work so hard to ensure that we have a nice meal to take away. To everyone, I'm so grateful. Because if we're not grateful, dear ones, we will not know peace in our lives. When we are grateful to others, we'll find peace automatically flows. In this next chaupai, Tulsidas writes,
Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
जूते हम ही दोसु जानी देहु, जूते हम ही दोसु जानी देहु, दुई कई चारी मागी मकुले हो, दुई कई चारी मागी मकुले हो।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
रघुकुल रीति सदा चली आई, रघुकुल रीति सदा चली आई। प्राण चाहु बरु बचनु न जाई, प्राण चाहु बरु बचनु न जाई।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। 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 श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
And Sri Ram says to Kekayi, Raghukula riti sada chali ai, prana jahu baru bachanu na jai. It has ever been a rule in the house of the Raghus to lose life rather than break a promise. King Sibi had given a promise to a dove to protect its life. And in order to honor that promise, his very life was at stake. His people tearfully were saying, "O king, do not give your life. How can we continue without you, our righteous, truthful king?" But he said to them, "I have given my word, and I cannot break my word even if it means I die." He was willing to die to honor his word. It was then that the bird, the dove, and the hawk revealed themselves as divine beings who were there to test how truthful he was, and they blessed him. We must be true to our plighted words. And you and I, our scriptures tell us, we made a promise before we were born. When we were in our mother's womb, we made a promise to God that, "Oh God, in this life, I'm going to work harder to find you. I'll strive my best to know you in this life." Yes, we all did, whether we can remember it or not. Are we fulfilling this promise we made to God and Guru when we were in our parents' womb? Fulfilling this promise doesn't mean we have to go live in the caves. It's not practical. Fulfilling this promise doesn't mean you have to be a sannyasi like us. That is not practical for everyone. Even though, as I appealed a few days ago online on our Facebook page, that this work to continue needs a few young men at least who are willing, because of their great love for God and Guru, to sacrifice their own pleasures and their own comforts for God. We need a few brahmacharis to continue this work. As Swami Purnanandaji used to tell me that he was getting old, and Swami Vidyanandaji was getting old, and who would continue the work after them. And inasmuch as I do not want to say it, it is true, I am getting old. And even though I have no right to say it, my brothers here, they're getting old as well. Who is going to continue this work? But it is not necessary to renounce the world for the majority of people to honor that promise we made to God in our mother's womb. All God is asking us as we pursue our worldly goals, are we trying to remember Him? Are we trying to be better spiritually? Are we spiritualizing our actions? One holy man said, yes, we're busy. I know we're busy working, but every so often we can take a minute and mentally offer our work to God. Lord, I'm doing this for you. When we do that, when we give it to Him, then our lives are blessed. Then our work becomes karma yoga. And then we progress along the spiritual path. So dear ones, we must not break our plighted word that each one of us made in our mother's womb in this concluding Doha, Tulsidas writes.
Bolo Ram, 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 Bolo Ram.
श्रवण सुजस सुनियाएउ प्रभु भंजन भवबीर त्राहि त्राहि आरती हरन सारन सुकर रघुबीर
बोलो राम 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 बोलो राम
श्रवण सुजसु सुनियाएउ प्रभु भंजन भवबीर त्राहि त्राहि आरती हरन सारन सुकर रघुबीर
बोलो राम बोलो राम बोलो राम बोलो राम बोलो राम 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 बोलो राम बोलो राम.
Vibhishan says, having heard of your glory, O Lord, I have come to you with the belief that you banish the dread of rebirth. Trahi trahi arati haran, save me, O Raghubir, reliever of distress and delighter of those who take refuge in you. And we too, dear ones, on this very first day of this new year, we too surrender at the Lord's feet, asking Him to save us. I would like to end with this prayer I posted this morning on our Facebook page. It goes like this, and it is for all of you, my friends. May God make your year a happy one, not by shielding you from all sorrows and pain, but by strengthening you to bear it as it comes. Not by making your path easy, but by making you sturdy to travel any path. Not by taking hardships from you, but by taking fear from your heart. Not by granting you unbroken sunshine, but by keeping your face bright even in the shadows. Not by making your life always pleasant, but by showing you when people and their causes need you most, and by making you anxious to be there to help. God's love, peace, hope, and joy to all of you for the year ahead. Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om. Devotees, before I pass you back to Vijay, I would just like to say that, as all of you may know, that every month, twice per month, we partner with another organization called Rivers Fund to do seva by distributing foodstuff to needy members of our community. And we have resolved this year to explore the possibility of expanding our seva. So we've started a project called Project Seva, where we want to make our help international. And the first country we have identified is our home country, Guyana. We're working out the details how we can help our countrymen, or our former countrymen, how we can help them at this difficult time. Our ashram is called Seva Ashram because it is noted for its seva. So we'd just like to let you know that we're working out all the details how we can help our devotees in Guyana, and then after Guyana perhaps expand to Trinidad and even to India. But it will all depend on the support of our well-wishers or donors, kind-hearted devotees like you. Initially, we are hoping to distribute 50 hampers every month in Guyana to different villages, and each one will cost like about $20. Vijay will tell you more about that, but I pray that by the grace of God and Guru will be successful in this venture. And I'll pass you back to Vijay.
Thank you very much, Swamiji, for your wonderful pravachan this beautiful Friday morning here, the first day of year 2021. Swamiji, on behalf of all of us present here, all our devotees who are participating in our line Satsangh, we would like to thank you very, very much for your continuing word of wisdom throughout the years. And we are blessed to be in company of you and the other Swamijis, Swami Shiveshwarananda, Swami Shivaramananda for your guidance. And we thank you very, very much, Swami Shivesh, for your blessing and your guidance. So all of us here, thank you very, very much, Swamiji. And we look forward for a prosperous 2021 also. Devotees and friends, we'll continue our program. We will have one more bhajan. I will ask Bhai Lake to lead us in that bhajan, and I will make a few announcements, and then we will proceed to Guru and conclude in Arti. And we have wonderful bhajan prepared for everyone. And this beautiful Friday morning, the first day of year 2021. As Bhai Lake is getting ready, again, we would like to thank all our devotees who join us online. Remember to join us every Tuesday evening. Our Hanuman Chalisa continue online via Facebook, America Sevashram Sangha. Continue to join us our Hanuman Chalisa every Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. with our Revered Swami Shiveshwarananda Ji Maharaj. We are now listening to Bhai Lake.
कन्हैया कन्हैया तुझे आना पड़ेगा,
आना पड़ेगा,
वचन गीत वाला निभाना पड़ेगा,
वचन गीत वाला निभाना पड़ेगा।
कन्हैया 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 तुझे आना पड़ेगा,
आना पड़ेगा,
वचन गीत वाला निभाना पड़ेगा,
वचन गीत वाला निभाना पड़ेगा।
गोकुल में आया मथुरा में आ,
गोकुल में आया मथुरा
सावरे देखो आके जरा सुनी सुनी पड़ी है तेरी द्वारिका कन्हैया 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 तुझे आना पड़ेगा वचन गीत वाला निभाना पड़ेगा
वचन गीत वाला निभाना पड़ेगा
जमुना की पानी में हलचल नहीं जमुना की पानी में हलचल नहीं मधुबन में फैला सजैचल नहीं मधुबन में फैला सजैचल नहीं वही कुंज गलिया गलिया वोगी गोपिया चनत थी मगर कोई चागर नहीं कन्हैया 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 तुझे आना पड़ेगा वचन गीत वाला निभाना पड़ेगा
वचन गीत वाला निभाना पड़ेगा
कोई छेड़ी गैया खवाली नहीं
कोई छेड़ी गैया खवाली नहीं
कोई छेड़ी गैया खवाली नहीं
कोई तेरी गैया खवाली नहीं
अमानत ये छेड़ी संभाली नहीं
ओह मानत तेरी संभाली
भारत में कोई कन से भारत में पैदा हुए कपट से कोई घर भी खाली नहीं कन्हैया 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 तुझे आना पड़ेगा वचन गीत वाला निभाना पड़ेगा
वचन गीत वाला निभाना पड़ेगा
कन्हैया 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 तुझे आना पड़ेगा वचन गीत वाला निभाना पड़ेगा
वचन गीत वाला निभाना पड़ेगा
हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे मुरारी
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 Anyways, I asked Vijay that I'll just say a few more words. Today we are launching our calendar, Ashram's calendar, and for those of you who have not yet seen it, it's very, very beautiful as usual. And I would like to, in the spirit of gratitude, thank our Public Relations Officer by J.V.J. Bisram for, it was not easy to produce that, I know, because I work closely with him. He spent many, many nights working late into the nights to make this calendar possible, and you can see his talent, his expertise, his sacrifice. And I would also like to thank Ray, because without Ray's permission, he couldn't do it. It is a beautiful calendar. You can please collect today, and please make use of it. Collect only as many copies as you need, because we have limited copies. And try to follow almost every day. It's a well laid out calendar. You can see the holy days at a glance. Try to follow, observe the holy days so that we can always keep in tune with the divine. I would also like to wish Bayan Savitri's daughter, Reena, a very happy birthday today. And another Reena, Bayan Nandrani Singh, will be celebrating her birthday tomorrow. She's from New Jersey. She's a very faithful devotee of our ashram and also a great donor. We'd like to wish her in advance a very happy birthday. Thank you, Vijay. And I'll pass you back to Bhaiji Vijay Bisram.
Thank you very much, Swamiji, for your kind words. Also, again, I would like to join Swamiji in wishing by Nandrani happy birthday. She will be celebrating her birthday tomorrow. As Swamiji mentioned, she is a very, very generous donor to our ashram, a very special devotee to our ashram. On behalf of all of us, we would like to wish her well and Guru Maharaj's blessing. Devotees and friends, just to endorse a little bit what Swamiji mentioned about our outreach program. It is a wonderful program. As Swamiji mentioned, our ashram launched this outreach program called Project Seva, of course under the guidance of Swami Shivesh and the other Swamijis. We start our collaboration with Reverse Fund, as Swamiji mentioned. Reverse Fund has been very, very kind to us to collaborate with us on this huge project where the ashram distribute food for those in need twice a month right here on the ashram premises. And this project started over a year plus, and we have been doing so well, very successful program. This program will continue as we empowering those in need, the families around this area, especially if we have families out of the Jamaica area come on that day for food and supplies on that day when we distribute food that 2 days. So we continue with that program. Swamiji mentioned that we are announcing Project Seva, or Global Humanitarian Outreach Program of the America Sevashram Sangha. Will launch its chapter in Guyana. We are very excited, and I know you will be very excited to be a part of this too, because it's a very, very special program, and you wouldn't believe how much it will cost to feed a family, where we will supply food item for a family, like 15 items per bag. 15 items is a lot of item per family. And we will start distributing this food hamper again for 15 family on a monthly basis, of course, with the support of you, the devotees. I will keep you informed. The devotees who need more information on this project can see myself or by Lake or Swamiji after Satsangh. We are in the process, as Swamiji mentioned, we are in the process of doing some groundwork in Guyana with an amazing team. We have an amazing team there in Guyana. They're working to sort out all the details, and also with our executive committee here at the ashram. Next week I will officially announce, as Swamiji mentioned, it will cost below $20, like $19.50 to feed a family. And 15 items in a bag, it's a lot of items, and I'm sure that wouldn't do for just feed them one time. And we will reach out to the appropriate area, as most of you know Guyana. We will start with Guyana first, as Swamiji mentioned. Guyana, although with the new government in power, they said they were doing well and all these things, we still have families that is suffering. Families, and we have our team there right now. They're evaluating those areas where we need. We will start off with the Cove and John area first, and more we will move to the West Coast, we'll move to the Barbies area. So this is a wonderful venture for the America Sevashram Sangha. And as Swamiji mentioned to you, it doesn't have to be a devotee here coming here. If you have a friend who would like to donate $19 for a family in Guyana, you can reach out to us. Tell that friend about this project, or Project Sewa. Late in the year, as Swamiji mentioned, we will launch this project and we will go global. Again, with outreach in humanitarian outreach in Trinidad and India also. So again, this project will just, we can keep this project going and execute this project with the support of you, the devotees. Everyone who would like to, family, you don't have to be a devotee of the America Sevashram Sangha to be a part of this project. This project is humanitarian work, and as Swamiji said, this is what our ashram is about. And we need your support. And again, if you need more details, we want to launch our forest drive by the end of January to 50 wonderful families who deserve it. And we, as I told you, we have our team evaluating these families in Guyana, and it will be reached to the hamper will be reached to the appropriate family. So again, if you need more information, see myself or by Lake after Satsangh. We have all these information available, and we will officially, hope all is well, we will officially launch it next Sunday. Devotees, just a reminder, Swamiji mentioned we have our wonderful calendar available for each and every one of you. Of course, it's free of cost, compliments of the America Sevashram Sangha. And we have 12 wonderful sponsors for our calendar. We would like to thank them on behalf of Swami Shivesh and the other Swamijis. We would like to thank them for sponsoring this year's 2021 calendar. Thank you very, very much. Again, the calendar is available, one per family. We are trying to distribute it accordingly, just to make sure devotees don't take one. Our devotees, we have the tendency to take one calendar for upstairs, one for downstairs, and one for basement. We don't want that. So we want you to take one for the entire home, and so everyone will get the opportunity to receive a calendar each. Devotees, on our calendar, we have a very, very important day coming up, 𝗔𝗠𝗘𝗥𝗜𝗖𝗔 𝗦𝗘𝗩𝗔, which will be a Thursday evening at 7:30 p.m. right here at the ashram, January 28th. So again, you will pick up your calendar, you will have this date. Please come out. Again, if you would like to attend our satsang, you have to inform us. If you would like to attend our 𝗔𝗠𝗘𝗥𝗖𝗔 satsang on the 28th at 7:30 p.m., it will be a Thursday evening. It will be 7:30 to at least 10 p.m. And I'm inviting each and every one of you. It's a special day on our calendar here at the ashram. So please inform our devotees at the front desk if you would like to attend our 𝗔𝗠𝗘𝗥𝗖𝗔 satsang. Devotees and friends, again, I would like to wish each and every one of you, all our supporters throughout the years, our dedicated donors, devotees who come to work for the ashram, whatever seva they contribute to our ashram, we would like to thank you for a very amazing year. As Swamiji mentioned, due to the pandemic, we were very, very not able to continue some of our programs and facilitate other activity here at the ashram, but we were doing well, and with the help of all the devotees who cooperate with us with the pandemic and work with us with the guidelines, the COVID guidelines and stuff, we were able to execute programs, online programs, satsangs, and where devotees were allowed to participate. So our presence were here throughout the year of 2020, all through the pandemic, and I would like to thank especially our Swamiji, Swami Shiveshwarananda for being there when called upon. Like anytime I'm very honored to and blessed, and I'm blessed to know that anytime I call him in on a project, especially for our community, we have to do the satsang, he always available to serve. Thank you very much, Swamiji. Devotees and friends, I would like to wish again all of you well for 2021, and please do keep following us on Facebook. We have our YouTube channel. Again, if you need to follow us on YouTube, devotees who don't have Facebook, we have a wonderful program. I know every single one of you have a cell phone, especially the older devotees. We have all our programs on YouTube where you can go back and watch at our satsang. If you missed last week's satsang, you can go there and look at it. You don't need a Facebook account or a Instagram account or any other social media. Every phone have a YouTube access, so you can access our program there. And if you need help in that, Ryan here, Ryan is a very he's a YouTuber, and he have a good experience with helping out devotees who need access to our page, and he can guide you through that. Devotees, again, thank you very much for a wonderful 2020, and we look forward for your continued support here at America Sevashram Sangha on behalf of our Swamiji, Swami Shivesh, our spiritual head and director, our wonderful executive committee for year 2021. We will now stand for Guru and concluding Arti.
ॐ पूर्णमदा पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि ॐ सहस्रात् शीर्षा पुरुषा सहस्रशा सहस्रपा सा भूमिः सर्वतो वृत्वा अत्यतिश्रादशगुणम् ॐ सर्वथा पानिपारं तत्सर्वतोक्षि शिरोमुखं सर्वथा श्रुतिमा लोके सर्वम् अवृत्यातिष्ठते। ॐ ज्योतिषम् अपितर्ज्योति त्वामस्या परमोच्यते। ध्यानं येन ध्यानिगन्ध्यं हृदये सर्वस्य विष्ठितम्। ॐ गतिर्भर्ता प्रभु साक्षी निवासचरणं शिरे प्रभा प्रलय स्थानं निधानं वेजवान्। ॐ त्वमादिदेवा पुरुषा पुराणा त्वामस्य विश्वस्य परं निधानं त्वामव्यास्वस्वतां धर्मगुप्ता सनातनस्थं पुरुषो मतो मे। ॐ पितासि लोकस्य चराचरस्य त्वामस्य पूजस्य गण्यं नात्वत्समोऽस्ति अव्योधिका कुतोऽन्यलोकात्रये अपि अप्रतिमा प्रभावा करो जया गुरु कर जया शिव कर 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 जया गुरु कर जया शिव तिमिरं दश्या ध्यानजना शलाकया चक्षुरोन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। ॐ मन्त्र सत्यं पूजा सत्यं सत्यं देवा निरञ्जना गुरुवाक्यं सदा सत्यं सत्यं देवा परं परम्। ॐ आकन्दामण्डलाकारं व्याप्तमेन चराचरं तत्परं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। ॐ पितृमातृ सुरदेवन्यो विद्यातीर्थानि देवता नातुल्यं गुरुणा शीघ्रं स्वस्मेन परं परम्। ॐ गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरु विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरा गुरुरेवा परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। ॐ ध्यानमूलं गुरुमूर्ति पूजामूलं गुरुपरं मन्त्रमूलं